Hey everyone, welcome to this video. I wanted to do a video and send out a lot of energy to our troops, our soldiers that are out there and they're serving our country and they are in the midst of a lot of heavy, stressful energy. And we want to make sure that we are sending our troops support, love, and strength for their journey and not worry and stress and fear because that energy isn't helping them. And I know it's really a lot going out there right now. And as a war veteran myself, I was in the war, in the Iraq war. It's really, really important that I, as a teacher, am putting out good energy for our soldiers and our troops and to remind all of us that we need energy of strength and love and wisdom when we're over there. Because when you're over there, we don't want to hear people, back at home worried and crying and in fear, because that just makes us not be able to focus more. We want to be able to have that strength and that support and that faith and that wisdom to make sure that we are uplifting our troops and our soldiers so they feel strong and they can, do their journey, do their destiny, because their destinies are hard. Their journeys are hard. And I think a lot of us, we don't take in consideration of how hard a soldier's life really, really is to be a warrior. It's hard. It's an honorable destiny, and role to play on earth. And a lot of those soldiers take it very seriously. And they take their role very seriously and they have a lot of heart in it. So it really affects them. And when they're over there in war, yeah, it's hard, but the hardest part is when they get back. The hardest part is when they get back. There's not just a war when they go over there, okay? And I thought, when I was over there, it was really, really hard. The hardest part is when they get back. The hardest part is, having that support from people and from the world that you actually do need from your country. Not necessarily the world, but from your country, from the people around you. We really, really need to have that support for our soldiers, that love, that strength, that uplifting energy, and that solid vibration, because it really, really helps them heal and get through what they're going through. And if you haven't been a soldier, you haven't been to war, it's very hard for people to understand that. But a lot of us have our own personal war. So it's still, you still can at least relate to that. But soldiers, when they're over at war, it is very, very heavy. It's crazy. It's hectic. They need that strength. We're going to send them all that strength. Okay. We're going to send them nothing but strength energy. And if we worry and fear, we're going to just replace it with faith and strength and know things are the way that they are. They are playing that role for a reason. That is their destiny. And they all have free will. They chose to do that. They want to be there. Even I chose my destiny. I chose war. It's not that I chose war, but I chose to be a soldier. I didn't want to be, I didn't want war, but it's just a part of Earth. It's just a part of the world. You don't have to be so serious about it. A lot of us take it so serious, but we need to lighten up more. It is a part of Earth. It is a part of life. It's just a part of the game down here. And we have to accept that things are happening for a bigger and better reason. And that's why our troops and soldiers are doing their role. They're doing it for a higher purpose, even if they don't know it. They are helping transform Earth and the world right now. And a lot of people might be against Americans. That's okay. But a lot of us and our allies, what's really going on is they're helping shift the world and transform it. And Iran and a lot of countries hold a lot of dark energy, and we're just clearing it out. It just doesn't really look like that. Okay. But those soldiers are it may only feel like they only have like an earth role, but they really have a higher role. They really have a higher purpose. And within them and deep down, they may even know. And if you are watching this as a soldier or a war veteran, or even if you're over there, just know that you do have a higher purpose. You are doing something very honorable, and this is something to take great pride in. But you don't have to wear the heavy energy, and you can tap into that strength and that faith and that perseverance and resilience as you do go through war and you go through the aftermath. Okay. So, especially, we have a plane that got down and there's one soldier missing. I think there's one still missing. And the QRF team, the response team, I think they only saved one, but there's another soldier out there. So there's a POW. Hopefully they do save him. We're going to send them all kinds of love and light and strength and wisdom to get him out of there. But just know if he doesn't get out of there, it was a part of his destiny. It was a part of the plan. And I don't know what that is. None of us really know what the plan is. Only the higher realm knows why things are really where they are. And if we're supposed to know, we'll know. If we're not supposed to know, but we still want to send love, great honor, and strength to that soldier and all the other soldiers that are trying to help him and everything else that's going on. So after the war is so hard. Okay. We get a flag. So this is my war flag. Yes. Very honorable. Even as a healer, I still take great honor in my role and my journey as a soldier. Now, do I, want war? No, of course not. I really wanted peace. And that's really what I joined and did an honorable role for my journey is I wanted to help bring that into the world. And that's what I really think that all of us are trying to do is bring that more greatness to our world. We want to have a great transformation for humanity and transform to be our best selves and really tap into more peace and love and, oneness. Okay. And we're in this together. We all come from the same place, even if we have different cultures, different ways of life. We all come from the same place. But I want to make sure that a lot of people understand that being a soldier, even as, a healer now, being a soldier back then, it'll always be a part of me. Okay. The after part is the worst part. Okay. There's just like the personal war that you got to go through. It's way worse than physical war. The wars that we go through in our mind, the battle in the mind. Okay. Yeah. It's worse for soldiers. So it's worse for warriors, and they got to come home and they got to deal with that. And yeah, we get a flag, but we really need to get a lot more support and healing and transformation when we get back, because that's where we're missing the healing part. And a lot of soldiers are taking all that heaviness and they're bringing it back home, and it not only affects them, but it affects their families. Okay. My son, he has 2 war veteran parents, me and his dad. He's had a very rough life. He's had a very hard life. And as I look back, I wish I wouldn't have, put him through that. But sorry if I cry. Sometimes it's just overwhelming, that he's had to have that type of life, because it was really, really hard for him. So when the soldiers get back, be there for them and their families. The kids, it's important. They really need that love and support too. Okay. They need the healing just as much as, the soldier does when they get home, and the wife or the other support system. They all need all that support and love from all of us. And the Vietnam veterans, they really supported the Iraq veterans when we got back. I mean, it was huge. But really, I feel like we need to just make sure that we are coming from our mindset of strength and love and peace, sending that out to them in wisdom for healing. We need more healing energy for our soldiers, especially the soldiers that have really, really hard roles. There's different soldiers that have harder roles than I did. Like the airborne, the 82nd Airborne, that was my child. That's what his dad was in. That was a very, very hard unit. He had a very hard role in the military. Navy SEALs, Marines, they got to go in first. They're over there right now. We need to be sending them strength and love and wisdom to get through what they're going through. All of the soldiers, no matter what role, but just some of them have harder roles even in the military as well. So when they get back is where we really, really need to help be that solid vibration, be that anchor for them in energy, so that it can uplift them and help release that heaviness and help them shift their perspective and see things for what they really are and break those illusions from the war, from their role, and not have to actually carry it with them and understand why things are the way they are. Whatever happened, happened. And when they come home, to understand that, put it into place, and know it was for them to level up, upgrade them, and to really help them with their life. Being a soldier is amazing. It's honorable. And when you have that experience, you know how much goodness is in it. And I don't think a lot of people know that, because they haven't been a soldier. They haven't been into that role or that experience. So a lot of people have negative mindsets towards it. But it was actually a really great experience even as a woman, to be able to go through, even if it was hard, even if, I have PTSD. A lot of people have PTSD. It's just part of it. And PTSD is just releasing the fears that you've carried, releasing that energy that you've carried home. Okay. But when you have all that, it's there for you to have an opportunity to learn from, grow, and evolve. Okay. So you want to, if you're a soldier or you have a soldier around you, or even if you don't, you're just sending this energy out there. Understand that, because it helps when we are at a higher mindset. It helps anchor them in, helps anchor you in. If you understand everything's for a reason, you do not have to carry it. It is not your burden to carry. Can you carry it? Yes, they absolutely can. But you don't have to carry it. The soldiers don't have to carry that burden. You need to know that as a soldier, or if you have someone around you. So it's okay to release. It's okay to forgive. It's okay to know that, it was for a reason. You needed to play the role. Don't take it so serious, and to release the aftermath. The aftermath is the hard part. Okay. And we want to make sure that we're there for our soldiers, no matter where they're at, and whatever support they need, be there, but don't obviously enable the bad energy. But we want to make sure our mindsets are strong for them. And this is just a good message for us to remind ourselves that, because sometimes we do get dragged into the worry and the fear and, oh my gosh, what if, something happens to them over there? Well, that's great. But what about the aftermath? That's not great sorry, let me rephrase that. What if something happens to them over there? That's just a part of their journey. Okay. And we have to accept that. Acceptance of war, acceptance of, their choice of their role, their destiny, of whatever. They're supposed to learn something. That's why they chose to do that, for their soul evolution. So we need to allow them to learn, and whatever happens for their journey, but we just stay strong-minded, and we stay in a solid vibration of peace. We stay relaxed and calm, so that they can feel that energy when they come home. It's healing. It's actually healing. Okay. So, because when you get home from war, you're very, very chaotic in the mind, your body. You do not adapt with civilian world very well. It's really, really hard. And you are really high speed in, the military. And then when you come home, it's like there's just this huge lag, and everything is slow. And it's just, they got to slow down. They got to learn how to slow down. It's very, very hard. So it does take time to heal and transform. So be patient with the troops as they do that. But we want to stand firm in our vibration and in our mindset, so that we can help our troops, our soldiers, in the very best way that we can. And when we hold this mindset, we hold this vibration, you may not be able to see it, but it is a ripple effect very, very far. Just like if you dropped a rock in a pond and you've seen the ripple effect. Okay. You may not be able to see these waves of energy and this mindset of what we're putting out for our troops and our soldiers, but it will affect them, and it really does help them, even if you don't talk to them verbally. Okay. So if you could just take 5 or 10 minutes today, just sit down and send them a lot of good energy, strong energy, so that they can get through their role and their journeys. And you can send it to our enemies as well. Okay. They're playing their role too. But this is just to support the people that are connected to us and that you love, and our soldiers and our troops for our country. Okay. And I know we're all in this together. We want to pray for everybody and all the soldiers and the troops for their role in this transformation and this earth shift, because no matter what end that they are on, no matter where that soul is, it's all a part of the transformation and the evolution of earth and the shift that is going on. Okay. It is all for the better good. It is all for the higher good. It may not be seen like that, but when you tap within and you raise your perspective and you can try to see things on a higher perspective, you understand that. You understand things are the way that they are, and it plays out this way for a reason. Okay. Earth life isn't just all full of good stuff. There's got to be, some chaos, some bad, whatever you want to call it, for the transformation, for the good to come into place. It's just a part of it. There's always upheaval, but it's a part of the process, and we have to accept that. We have to accept loss, and we know that's true wisdom and that's true strength, and that holds us in that peace vibration to help our troops in the very, very best way. Okay. So we send them lots of strength, love, light today, and peace for their journey over there and for when they get home. Because when they get home, it's the hardest part. Okay. If you are a soldier out there, a troop, and you're listening to this, we are here for you. And if you need anything, just put it in the comments. Let us know. We're all there for you. But just know there are people out there that can guide you to your highest evolution, to your highest self, and that you can be an amazing soul and you can have an amazing life even when you get home too. Because I know it's really hard. Even when we get home, it might go really, really good at first, and then we might go through a lot of upheavals, within like a year or two, or just a lot of changes. So don't be scared of the changes. All of your journey is a part of your evolution, and it's a part of the troops and the soldiers' evolution. And we know that, and we accept that, and we send them so much strength because we know their journeys are really hard and difficult. And we're there for them because we're all connected, we're all one, and we just all want to have this good mindset together so that we can really, help in the best way that we can, because not all of us can put a uniform on and go over and serve our country. Okay. So what can we do the best? Have this type of energy and mindset. Especially the aftermath, and especially for the family too. Okay. Not just for the soldiers, but for the family too. For the kids. That's what I would want mostly, is the support for the kids, for my child. Because sometimes even as a parent, I forget how hard his life has been. And he doesn't really express it a lot. He doesn't wear it a lot. He's really, really good at it. But be aware of the kids, the children. Because sometimes you may not see it, but it does affect them. And we need to help them shift and transform as well. Because parents are a part of their life. You know what I mean? It's a part of their growing and their evolution too. So even if you're a soldier, be there for your kid and help them express their feelings and their experience that they had with you as well. Okay. Even if they were a baby. Okay. But the aftermath is, what they have to deal with. The kids have to deal with that. The spouse, they got to deal with all the aftermath with the soldiers. So that they need that support too. It's important. Okay. I hope this video really helped you, gave you some insight, and really helped shift your mindset on where we're supposed to be focused and where we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing to help out in the very best way that we can for our troops, because there's a lot going on right now. It is heavy, hectic. It can be easily to get drug into the fear and the worry mode and the stress about what's going on. We got to recenter, realign, and make sure our mindset is in the best place and in the highest place, the highest perspective, so that we can help stabilize our vibration, which stabilizes our troops. Okay? All right, I will see you guys next video.